Hello, everybody. Welcome to another preview and post. My name is Ruben Lane. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm going to try to recreate some show from scratch. I have a list of a few shows that I tried to put together since last week when we did the Mana tour. I'm thinking mm, there's a couple options I like to tackle. I have Spice World, looks fun. Uh, the Paramore tour from 2018 that got Butch Allen an award. I think that's one of my favorites, recent ones. Um, I've been thinking about the Romeo Santos Utopia, which was massive at the MetLife Stadium. My only concern about Utopia is that it is a massive show. It'll definitely take me longer than an hour just to put it together in a bare bones fashion. So then there's the Weekend Starman, Starboy. Sorry, that one would be fun and challenging to say the least. Hmm. Here, let's take a look at some of these real quick. I think I have them here in a browser ready to go. Uh, is that right? I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes if anyone wants to vote for a particular tour design that you'd like to see recreated. It is now or never, my friends. Comment section. Getting a separate message through, not the comment section. Do Weekend. Do Drake. Really? The Drake tour. The one with the balls? The one with the sphere, the giant chandelier? I mean, it's doable. Uh, I've seen that one live, so have a good idea of what needs to get done for that one. Here, let me go ahead and show you what I'm looking at here. Okay, so looking at the looking for tours. We have here it is. That's the Drake tour. I think that was Manny Conde too, if I recall. Oh, see, this one has something that I really enjoy. The giant LED ceiling and border. That was the recent one, the more recent one. I like that one. Then there is Nine Inch Nails. But this is the 2010 one. Hold on a minute. No, I was thinking about this guy right here. That one. The Star Destroyer. That's the Weekend. ND Starboy, right? Uh, that, if I remember correctly, I know Patrick Wombold was an operator on and off on this tour. There are a lot of moving parts to this one. I want to do that one, but I feel that if I don't do the full motion and integration on it, I'm not gonna be happy doing it half-assed. Then there's Spice World, which is it's just a giant circular screen with the IMAX and the borders. I think was that Ben Miles? I think that was Ben Miles. And and then there's Paramore, which has a has a warm little corner of my heart. This one doesn't have any automation though, so that's kind of cheating. Ha, decisions, decisions, decisions. You know what? I'm gonna say let's go with the. Uh, let's go with Paramore, if only because it will probably be the quickest one to recreate from scratch, and I will start preparing some assets for Starboy and Drake. Yeah, I really want to be able to try to tackle them in under an hour, and this debate just took about 10 minutes, at least five, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and save this popper somewhere. Uh, cool. That will be our inspiration frame for this. There's one aspect that I know is underspoken about for this. Ooh, Luke Bryan Stadium Tour. Hold on, hold on. Clicking, clicking, clack a licking. Ooh, I like this. It's complex but not impossible. Hmm. And it's a little multimedia, so it would be a huge shout out to my boy John Chavez and the good folks from Elite over in Nashville. Hmm. You know what? Let's do Luke Bryan. I think I think that the back fingers rotated with pixel tape on the back. The back fingers. These things back here. These whole things. Is there a video of it? I mean, I'm all for that. If automating rotation, Patrick, what are you getting me into? What was the name of that tour? Sorry, Luke Bryan, uh, Stadium Tour video. Hmm. 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 Okay, we'll start. We'll get started with. Wait, are you saying that they did this? The panels rotate, or is it just the magic dots? All right, let's do this. Just because it shows not only AI but also some fun stuff in um, whatchamacallit, that thing. See, Patrick's excited. I'm happy Patrick's excited. He's a good fella. He knows his stuff too. All right. All right. Where is first things first? Let's buckle those belts. We need to start creating some geometry. So that start with Blender for sure. Let me just start to take a good mental picture. That looks like square aspect ratio IMAX screens. Good. And then one single surface in the back. Oh, you know what I should add to the list? The Carnivore Store, which actually ran on AI. So I can't remember if I have the show file for it, but it will be again. That's not the point of this show. So, let's do this. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it no? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, there's 12 fingers back there. And all right. Let's see. Let's see if we can pull this off. That's not what I wanted. I want it to stay right there. And where is Mr. Blender? Blender, I was working on a project last. Must have forgotten to close. I don't need this anymore. Thank goodness. Actually, can do Control N and do reload. Yes, please. Let's start from scratch. Cool. So, as always, you can see my shortcuts on pretty much anything that I'm typing on the bottom right corner here. Uh, Personally, I find that extremely necessary for a lot of webcasts. I got that from Kevin Shu over at All of It Now. He pointed me towards it. I'm huge on giving people kudos and props and shout outs. Um, Seriously, like, how useful is that? If you're trying to learn Notch, he has a series of short episodes on Vimeo, I believe, that are great. So let's let's start with those little screens because they look like a meter wide. And then if that's a meter, let's do one. I'm using my finger here to measure 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Let's do like one. They look like 1 by 8s, maybe tens. I gotta integrate a phone line into this so I can call. Hey John, can you give me some specs on that Luke Bryan tour? Actually, let's see if I can at John Chavez. Oh, that's why you want me to do it. Ay ay ay. That's insider trading. All right, so create. Again, I'm in the wrong screen. I always do that. Create plane. Definitely have to rotateify this pupper the right way front, which is, I believe, here. Nope. I believe here. I believe I can fly. That's it. Awesome. And scale on the Y. Let's do. Do you say 10? Do you say 8? You know what? I think I'm going to do 7. And I'll tell you why. Tell me why. Because uh, thinking logically, if that's a thing that I do sometimes, which I really don't. But here's my concern. I can tell that this is all one piece of content that just gets beautifully distributed among all of that. That's what it looks like to me. So I am going to do it short. I'm gonna do. Hmm. Good question, Ruben. What were you thinking about? Train of thought. Come back to me. Um, if we is another picture? There is another photo. Beautiful. Oh, they merged together. Is that right? Are they automated and they merge together, Patrick? Or is this just another venue city tour? No, no, no. Doesn't feel that way. If it's a stadium tour, I doubt. Hmm. Doink. Yeah, that has a feeling like it butts together. Ooh, this got hard quick. I was not thinking about hard. I spent way too much time asking silly questions at the beginning of this. Ah, Patrick, what have you done to me? You know what? There's no need to fear. Ruben Lane is here. Okay. Jesus. Thanks, Patrick. Ah, I just can't. You just can't trust people these days. I can hear you laughing too. You're like, Say hi to Aubrey for me. I think, yeah, if they're gonna be odd and evens or so, man, way to, way to make my life. Is it Control C? No, what am I looking for? I'm looking for view. There is a fit all thingamajig. Definitely go back to front. Definitely want this to be a non-perspective but orthographic camera. And I definitely want to see all, and that is, I can't remember the shortcut now. Oh, here it is, Shift C. Haha, I knew it was C something. There we go. Cool. One thing that I'm noticing, I'm slightly off my axis there, which if you've learned anything about me, I like things to be perfect. Cool. So why did I do it off center here? Because we have an even number of screens. One, two, there. Well, there's one down. One, two, three, four, five, six. Right. So we're probably gonna do. Um, can I Alt and drag? No. Can I Control and drag? No. Can I Shift and drag to copy to clone? No. Okay, fine. I'm screwed. Control C, Control V, and then it pastes it in the same place. And if I remember from last week, I'm pressing Control, keep set. Yeah, snappy. Cool. Control C, Control V, Control again, Control C, Control V. Oh man, we are cooking with fire now. And so this is a total of one, two, three, four. One thing that I notice on this is that there are, look at me being super specific for no particularly good reason. One, two, three, four, five, six. Um, yeah, sure. You know what we can do? Just save some time, not a lot of time, but some time. Control C, Control V, Control, and tick. Um, and I'm having just the hardest time remembering things today. One, two, three. Oh, this riser is what's messing me up. I think we have we have good we have a good measurement there. I think that's all right. Cool. Control not control but A for select all and hit control and up. Then control C, control V and control 2. Keep it all nice and lined up. And see, this was the one thing that I was fearing, is that we're not going to really learn a whole not bunch of new tricks by doing this, Patrick, because um, there's not it's kind of like it's very similar to what we did last week. You know what? We'll be reinforcing knowledge that we already have. So that'll be my excuse. What's yours? Dun dun dun. No, Shift C. Um, ay ay ay, Ruben. Numpad one. I'll try to remember that. So number one. What the other numbers do? Ooh, cool. So one is front. Two just does like little increments, but you have to have numeric pad. So if you're working on a laptop, tough, tough tease. The four does incremental rotations. Five is Oh, 5 goes from perspective to orthographic. Useful. And 6 is rotations the other way. Let's go back to 1 for front view. 7, I'm not sure what 7 does. Top ortho? Okay. Oh, it's just top. 8 is the user perspective, whatever that may be. 9 just does. Ooh, flippies. Fun. Okay. Let's stop messing about. How's that? Cool. Let's do now those toppity toppy thingamajiggers. Let's start. I think I can zoom. Can I zoom? Elite is your website. Hey Siri, tell John Chavez to log into my stream. I'm recreating the Luke Bryan show. Yeah, I don't want you to read that out loud. Dun, 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 dun. I think Patrick's the only one left. That's fine. Bum 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 bum. And Control C and Control uppity up. Nope. Control C, Control V, Control. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, I'm in the wrong screen, I'm sure. Control C, Control V. There we go. Rotate and press Control. Yeah, that works. And tell me why. X, I want you to be at 0. No. X, I think I want you. I think. At 0? Yes, I do. And what else do I need to keep in mind? Then there's side fingers. I really could use a photo that doesn't have some text in front of it. Thanks, Patrick. Cool. And then, well, that, how to address this part? Control C, Control V, Control da 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 da. And then kind of goes like clink and then cluck again because it couldn't have been an easier one. Thanks, Patrick. Control C, Control V. Now I think this is not as big. I think this may only be like wrong. Gotta make sure that you have the right fixture active, or you're gonna get screwed. And that's 3. At least that's what it feels like. Again, this is like the downside of just creating creating stuff from scratch and shows that you had little to no input on. Control C, Control V, Control, Control C, Control V. Cool. Then repeat that 3 times while making the center section bigger. Doink, 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 no, doink, shift, doink, 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 doink. Actually, let's do doink, 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 doink. Control C, Control V, Control. So once we're done with this, I'll happily take some ideas on the future on future projects. I think this is slowly turning into me just doing whatever I feel like because I feel like I'm going to start deviating from this tour's original design really quickly. Control C, Control V. I wish I knew some Luke Bryan songs. I can't play them because I'm afraid that if I do that, then my streams will get uh, hit up for copyright infringement, which I don't want to go through the trouble of. I think I can just do S for scale and X, and then if I do control, yeah, man, this is way easier this way. Look at that, doink, beautiful. Because of the number of different services that I'm using for streaming, I don't want to get hit up for doing the whole paperwork for that digital paperwork for copyright infringement just so that they would let me replay it would be very annoying. Well, now, why is that spacing wrong? You guys know me by now, I think, and it would get really annoying if I cannot have. I can't have Machi Machi. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane and have no clue why that's happening. And I would normally say that has to do with perspective, but as we very well established earlier, I'm using an orthographic camera, and also everything's in the same plane, so there's really no. That is some BS right there. That should not be happening. Okay, cool. So let's go back to this. Da, 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 da. Now, the other thing that I can't judge is what's happening with all of that. So we're going to, in an attempt to, actually, if you do B, you can do box selections and things. So, for example, select this guy, B, and select all these guys, and do Control J, and join them into a single object. Yes. Control G, and doink, boink, boink. Control J for genius. That's a shout out to my wife. We make fun of people by saying, "Oh, that person, yeah, he's a genius with a J." Um, which in uh, it's not just a shout out to my wife; it's also a shout out to my awesome father-in-law, Des Flannery. Okay, cool. Moving on, I'm going to move these things. Let's switch to a perspective camera. And the reason why is because as I move things on perspective, it'll allow me to do some funky stuff. So on the seaplane, no, other way. So let's do -3. Ooh, random piece of geo back there. Bye bye. Another random piece of geo. I guess at one point I did copy and paste something and then I forgot. And then you are gonna go to -6. Yep. And you may as well just be aligned with all that stuff, so that's cool. I think if we do right, I think this guy's may be actually this may be like in a -3 field. No, sorry, 3. Trying to offset everything so that it's got that je ne sais quoi depth of things. Actually, can I use that for? Yeah, I think I'm getting close. Am I gonna be done in time? I don't know. Ooh, text message from John Chavez. What? Log into my stream, not dream. Ah, Siri, thanks for that. Now I have to explain that. tab to go into that mode, and I think was it 7 to go into, yeah, cool. Now how to rotate this guy the way that I want it to. A, can I just do B? Hmm. This is gonna be interesting because I haven't done this. Actually, let's go back to the front view, and I think if I do, because I'm on edit mode. Oh, select the faces instead of just, yeah. We can rotate, right? So rotate right now, it's like kind of like in a weird free way. Escape. So I can hit rotate, and if I hit Z, it will, aha! It would do what I want it to. The only thing is that I need to change the pivot point, which I'm not sure how to do that. Um, Alternatively, I can select vertices only, and then be this guy's, and then maybe, but that's just cheating. I can move this guy's on a plane, so move those back. No, other way. Right. Actually, in a way, it will make life a lot simpler because I just gotta do select this, select that. Okay, I'm cheating because I do not fully feel these, feeling the love here. It's just not happening. So this, and let's just do -3. It's important to do it on the right, on the right, sorry, -3. Cool. Let's remember that that is the Z plane. Tag, and then is that even enough? I kind of think that it is. And you know what? If it isn't, too bad, because that's not. I'm not. I mean, I would like to try to recreate it perfectly, but alas, I'm only human. Actually, that. You know what? Speaking of the Human League, next week, FT Dubs. Next week, I'm going to recreate my first experience working with uh, Rob Sinclair. Uh, an experience to which, to this day, I still count my blessings. Is one of my favorite. First of all, he had. I've just always admired him, and back 7 lifetimes ago, when I was working at, I was still working at Everlast, but I was a, I was a, let's say, prolific Jans Vista user. And so at least back then, I don't know if he still has some love for it, but even back then, uh, Rob had some love for those consoles, and my good bud Daryl Ross, who was the trainer support person uh, for the Jans Vista product line back in the day, hit me up saying, "Hey man, if you're available, or if you can make yourself available, there is a tour that needs a Vista operator stat." I think I can just do, whoops, just realizing that this does not need to be there. X, and I can do vertices and deletes everything. Yeah. X. I mean, I don't know. Right. So I was lucky enough to go and spend a week with Rob Sinclair across the states. Man, that was a great experience. And basically, I was. Did I? Are you sure? I was. I'm pretty sure it was the same as Jon Snow. I'm kidding. Yeah, I because I'm using Restream to stream to all the platforms at the same time. I can't. Uh, I can't actually tag people. Ah, I can tag people through the Restream. So that's why I also did not get a correction. But hi, John. So nice to see ya. Look, I'm trying to make this thing. I'm even using your website, right for promo. Hey, call these guys, by the way. Elite Multimedia. They have AIs also. So if you're looking for AIs in the Nashville area, actually nationwide, they are a nationwide partner. And when I say nationwide, I mean like all over the U.S. and internationally too, right? I'll pass. I'll send. I'll send you the bill for the promo later, John. Cool. So Shift C, hey, and go back to this mode. Okay, Shift C fits everything in there. That's nice. Let's go back to. Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's not perfect. I don't think. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's my interpretation of it. Whatever. uh, cool. Yeah, we go worldwide, says John Chavez of Elite. Cool. I like the way that this part looks, and I'm going to say that's mucho bueno. So we will open a new. If you select all of these poppers, and let's go ahead and make a new. Um, we're just gonna make that 1920 by 1080. Why? Because we can. Yep. Awesome. And we will say, you get that money. Uh, let's do you for front perspective. Uh, Actually, let me turn off. Should I turn off perspective? I think so. Let's put that on a flat field. Yep. Select all of these popperinos and go U to UV map it and select, nope, I have to be on tab mode. There we go. And then U to unwrap and do project from view, bounce. Oh, that's only gonna do that. No, 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 no. We want to do everything. I think we have to join it all first. Go back and yep, that's what we need. U, project from view, bounce. Hello. Thanks for not doing what I'm telling you to do. That's what I want you to do. Gorgeous. The aspect's a little wonky, so let's do. It feels like a. I want to say. I want to say this is perhaps a 1 to 2, a bit wider aspect. So let's make a new. Let's delete this map. And hello. Am I in the wrong thingamajig? I am. Let's delete this UV map and make a one that is maybe 2048 by 1024. Like I always say, this is not, no, that's still like kind of out of aspect. Maybe it's a 1 to 3 or even a 1 to 4. Delete new mapping 4096 by 1024. Yeah, that kind of feels like it. And it's a 4K. That would make it into like a 4K product, which, if you're looking for super wide displays, Elite Multimedia, they're your people for that too. Um, just racking up the bill. Great, love that. So that is a good. Of course I can. Uh, well, can I? I don't know. I'll have to download it and see how it comes out. Doink, doink, doink. How can I spread this? Okay, so this is my first model, which I'm kind of okay with it. It's still out of aspect. I'm not. No, it's gonna haunt me. It's going to haunt me for the rest of my days. What is 1024 times 3? And is that a thing? No, that's not it. 1024 times 3. Hey, just like AI, these guys do math on all their fields. Yeah, that feels more like it. Let's go with this. Cool. So I have this first model, and I think that's good. We are going to go ahead and hit, what am I hitting? Tab here, and let's export this pupper as, yeah, you guys entertain yourself in the comment section because I am, as we all know, podcast and webcast, it's really people talking to themselves, pretending there's other people in the room. I think people with multiple personality disorders, or I probably shouldn't say that, but um, are perfect for this. I am still getting used to the idea of people actually listening to me talking to myself. Let's put this under models. We'll make a new folder because we know that I like to keep things organized. 144. Oh man. If it wasn't because this show feels kind of simple, I'd be, let's call this Look B. I'd probably be screwed. But the reality is that because we're doing all this work in Blender, look, let's call these look 1. Because we're doing all this work model-wise in Blender, integrating this into AI will be actually quite simple. Now remember when we export to AI that our dimensions have to be correct. So we want forward, so that way we definitely want Y to be up, and minus C is forward. That's right. So minus C, Y though. Thanks there for the mnemonic reminder, Senor Kyle Means. And we will export 3ds to here. And we're calling this Luke 1 because if we remember from last time, we need to have the two separate maps for it in a way. Yeah. Why is it not doing it? Oh, because I'm on the wrong screen again. Locate these poppers along. So let's do B to do a box selection, control, and grab this fancy little arrow here, and then we'll just move it. Yeah, I think so. B. I'm sure there is a tool in Blender that will do this a heck of a lot easier than how I'm gonna do it. But again, uh, yeah, I overspread them. Of course I did. That Ruben, he's an overspreader. Uh, that somehow sounded funnier in my head. And then I said it, and there's no way to take it back. It's in the internet forever. My grandchildren. Grandpa, what's an overspreader? Toink. Toink, toink. A, B. Um, Control. Yes. Maybe I need to start finding some royalty free music. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. If anyone knows a music VJ type person, not VJ, DJ, anyone who produces, anyone who produces their own music, uh, I think for this particular show, a sort of background type sound would be awesome. I'm not a DAW musician by any stretch of the imagination. So if you have someone who might be interested, good old John. If you know someone who would love uh, the exposure, since we're in this exposure times, uh, I would I would love to use their music in my channels. Project from whale music. Now I have Nemo in my head. Maybe I should teach this whole class in whale. I'm amusing myself way too much. Way too much. Hey, Elian, hook it up. You have my email and you have my Facebook, and hopefully they're on Facebook too. Yeah, if you know a musician friend, I'm also looking for anyone who's like a VJ who would like to log in on Fridays for the creative happy hour and uh, do kind of like do the thing, the thing, Biden style. And perhaps I can maybe be some background or put them in a corner. It's a creative happy hour. It's just banter and doing fun stuff. And I think that will be fun. I don't know. Boink, boink, boink. Okay, so that's it distributed now, and we'll go to File, Export, 3DS, and we'll call that Luke 2. Um, Again, yeah, that's good. Export 3DS. Beautiful. Okay, so we have those. Let's go switch over to AI time. And for the most part, we're going to have two screen surfaces. Actually, we have this thing that we created, and then we have the IMAX that then we have to join. So you know what, let's leave the IMAX here for a minute from now. And important thing, because we're about to import external geometry, we want all our scales to be to 1. And if I remember correctly, we did 1024 times 3 as a resolution. That's important that it has to match. Cool. So let's now go over to navigate. Here's a shortcut if you don't know it. If you press the Windows key and your arrows, it allows you to move windows across multiple displays at the same time without moving your mouse. So there you go. You learn something new every day with Ruben Lane of Creative Integration Studio. Now, Creative Integration TV. We are under models and look B. Okay, 1 and 2. Beautiful. So the one thing that we're going to do is come in here into our stage patch, and we're going to add the same thing that we did last week. We're going to add I think under import. No, it's under, oh my goodness. 3D, I forgot. Import 3D morph model. That's the one. That's the one we're looking for, kids. Get him. Uh, Load. We're gonna go back into our distrib. Models. Look B and select 1 and 2 and hit open. Wowzers. Now that's a model right there. The one thing that I want to do, of course, is keep my screen on the horizon. On the horizon. Dunk, 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 dunk. Yeah, sure. And let's go ahead and link the texture from my canvas into this guy. Lovely. Oh, look at that. It does kind of look like the actual show. And then last but not least, we need the automation control. I don't know how they did it. This is me just recreating a way of doing it. And there are other ways of doing this in AI, but we only have very little time. So insert module controller constant. Actually, not a constant. Not a constant, sir. I want this to automate all the time. Controller LFO for linear some function. Linear function. Whoa, look at that. We definitely want a smoother. I think if we switch to uh, that's fine. Let's slow it down for sure. Beautiful. Man, that's kind of cool. I don't know about you guys, but that's really cool. I'm gonna hide my mini screen there because you don't need to be shown now that we have this 3D model in there. So take off show preview. And then we need two more screens for our IMAX. So we'll add one and a two and a one, two, three, four. Main screen over there. We'll go over here and we'll make a big old square. We'll let's look at that photo again. And while we're at it, the website for our friends of Elite Multimedia. Maybe make this a little bit bigger. Sorry guys, I'm totally messing up your layout because I have it just zoomed in such a weird way. This feels, yeah, it feels like the IMAX screens are just about the same size as this entire thing. Okay, so that should be pretty simple to recreate. We just grab that square and let's move this here to like the middle of the canvas, which is roughly there, and just scale height. Wow, 20 by 20. Because we know that are pretty square-ish. X position. One other thing to remember is, yeah, perspective takes place in you know what? Let's make that 22. You know what? Screw it. 25. 25 by 25. And now I overdid it. Ruben, you overspreader, you. I totally did. That's upset. It's annoying me. Cool. And then 11.5 would be our height. Yeah, sure. Okay. I can I think I can be happy with that. The one thing though is we need our other IMAX. So just like we've talked before, if we're going to copy the properties of one screen to the other, we'll select the first one, Control C and Control V after selecting the other one. And since all we need to do is just move it to the other side of the room, we'll just take the negative aspect of that and call that a day. We do want to join them together, so we'll select the first one and the second one, and use the merge model merge option here. Go back to our models, because again, gotta keep our shows organized, and we'll call these Luke's Big IMAGs. Beautiful, and that's knowing the good guys at Elite. That's probably a pretty fancy schmancy. Let's make that 1080 by 1080. It's actually for IMAX screens. That's pretty. Oh wait, do we have inside information on this? No, he's just going to go take a call. If you think that Brad White is hard to get a hold of, um, no, I'm not bad mouthing John. He is that good that he is always that busy. He's a great guy though. If you're looking, okay, cool. Let's add, because it's an iMac. Let's go ahead and add a camera feed to this. So patches and live video. We'll put this guy right here, and let's make sure that this is pointing to the right camera. In this case, the 920 camera is actually being used by OBS for me to use the system. So cannot share the same bus. So I'll just use this one, I think. 920. Hi. There we go. Cool. Which is why I have two webcams at all times. And how's that looking? Well, it's not looking great, Ruben, because you have a render to texture in the path that is seriously messing you up. Not only that, but well, I do want to keep this as a 16 by 9 aspect. So let's just make this 1920 by 1080. Whoop. 1920 tab 1080. Change this from size mode to size input. That's right, 1920 by 1080. Look at that, so much crisper, so much better. What is that soda that's like crisp? Is it 7 Up? Big shout out to the guys from 7 Up. Fido Dido is back, by the way. They've been doing a number of marketing campaigns, at least in Latin America, claiming that Fido is back, and I, for one, welcome that. There's our iMac feed. Hello, what up? My name's Luke Bryan, and I'm singing my songs about pickup trucks and stuff. Cool. So we've created our automated stage with all our different types of depths, and that looks really pretty. Now, I've allotted myself, allotted, lotters will be shot on site. Sorry, the best memes in history. See, I just think about it and it cracks me up. Now, so I don't look so crazy. Lotters will be shot. I need to display this meme because it always cracks me up. Lotters will be shot on sight. Lotters are not afraid. I don't know why I like it so much. It's just my one of my favorite memes. It's perhaps it's not my favorite one, but it definitely, when I'm having a bad day and I see that, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Cool. So we've recreated this entire part, and this is cool, but doesn't necessarily mean that we are out of the weeds. What this does mean is that our previous show is in tip-top shape, tippity-toppity, tippity-toppity shape. Um, Now, the hardest part for a show of this scale has to do with how the output routing is handled. And not because it's that hard, because AI makes it really simple, but now I wish I had like Elite Multimedia's LED tech to sort of guide me through some of this. I just would like to know what they used. So now we are 100% in the realm of speculation, and we're gonna go over to our output page. So first things first, I am pretty sure that actually this is something that we don't cover enough. I'm gonna show you my display settings in Windows. It was two HD outputs. It was all 7 mil. Thanks, Patrick, for the insider trading information into this adventure. Uh, you know what? But I'm doing my own thing at this point. Like I said, purely speculation. So what I wanted to cover real quick was your output order kind of has a lot to do. My system is set up in such a way that here I'll just hit identify. And you can see everything that's happening. So one is my main display. Three is also an HD display over here. And two and four, two is actually where I'm working, so you don't see that, and it's where I'm seeing all my previews. Um, but four is an additional display that I've connected to an EDID manager matrix, um, and I've connected that so that I have an additional 4K display for opportunities like this. So in that case, we're gonna use output 3 for our IMAX and output 4 for our fancy schmancy rest of the show LED, because FT dubs for sure for the wins. Cool. So 3, come back to us. We will select 3, which is an HD, and I will all I have to do, actually, now that we have that information, 1080 by 1080, great. Um, Actually, let's just so that we can cover some stuff here on the output page. So there's a number of ways that I can do this, and I know this is like the simplest thing, and now this is just me filling up the extra half an hour. So I could just draw my region in here and do 1080 by 1080 and enter all this information, and that's fine. But the reality is that there's an easier way. I can just select import configuration from the screen fixture. What that does is it's bringing the UV map of that fixture and brings it into where it has to be. I've just realized that this output here is not currently patched, and I did the same thing yesterday, and I should have learned my lesson to check that before streaming. So I want to indicate that output. Oh no, that's output 3. Yes, correct. So let's just do it this way. Output 2, it's actually my output 3, which we will see. There we go. And output 3 is an output 4, which is my 4K. Brink. Cool. I will now activate with the magic of OBS. I will bring to you the other output screen so that you may also see my second output. There we go. Cool. Now, by doing that, this is obviously not in my HD output. This is in my 4K output, which is why we see it the way that we see it down there, all the way in the corner of that raster. So let's go ahead and correct that. This is in the wrong output. Here, so okay, going back to what I was kind of mentioning earlier, and then what is that rendering error there? There is bars from the main screen in the back. Okay, delete that. Thank you. Cool. So output 2, select my IMAX screen and hit there. So what I've done is imported the UV map of my fixture into the into this mess. Wow, I miss my barber. Um, so how to fix this right now? Well, it's fine because it's working the way that it should. The one thing that I want to do is just to showcase how this does that. Is that if I change my resolution on the screen from 1080 but to say let's 720 by 720, and then I do the same. Hey, import the configuration from the screen fixture. Kablamo! It automatically brings in. It automatically brings in the resolution based on that UV map into my output page. That is helpful. Now we'll go over to output 3, where we have our main screen, and this is where things get slightly complicated. Um, how can we, let's see, let's open up this guy. Actually, I wonder what happens if we do import configuration from a 3D model. Can I, and I think I can, the little engine that could. If I do import configuration from my model, Luke 1. Well, that's kind of perfect. I just need to flip those axes, which I think if I hit Z, no. If I, there is a way. There's a way to flip those, and I'm trying to remember shortcuts. Get this T translate selection draw tab. Reading all the shortcuts. No F1. No. There was a key. Is it Control Z? Haha. Kind of. So the only problem that I'm having here is that. Okay, so I need to move all these guys down here. So I think if I do Control Shift. No! Wrong. This is models. Look B. Yep. So Control. No. Shift. Hmm. 0. I'm trying to shift. Ah. That is not the problem. Lotters will be shot on site. I can, as expected, bring that in. See, this is not what I was looking for. The reason why I can't just use the UVs from the normal model is because we're not using the model for output. The model is strictly calm dancing, strictly here for our previous purposes, which has now stopped. Oh, it hasn't. It's just really slow. So how to improve this? Actually, one other thing that I just realized is that we only have two values here. Like there's only 0 and 1 as the two different models that we cycle through. And right now my LFO is, if we highlight this row for a second, it goes the ways from -1 to 1. So when it collapses, there's like, it sits there for like a full like second. So the way to fix that is we go 0 to 1, and then now just go straight from 0 to 1, and then come back down. Now, if I wanted it to kind of like sit on both places, I would say something like, hey, minimum -1, and then say max for 2. It'll sit there for a second, and then collapse back down. Just wanted to explain that. I don't know why I felt like the need to do that. So what can we do to improve this, make that easier? The reality, okay, let's just be really simple. The quickest way to do this will be something like this, where I can go, hey John, what's the resolution of those panels? Like, are they 1024 by 1024, 96 by 96? Let's just say they are Uh, we'll go here to 0, 0, and let's say they are. Actually, you know how we can find out because of the resolution that we used. Um, we'll say that we have. Didn't we do 7 for this height? 8, 9, and 10. That's how we're gonna do it. That's how we are gonna do it. We'll say, what's the height of this? Using maths, which we never thought we would use. If the height of this is 1080, so we'll split this by 10. 10, so 108, thank you. And then on our output, this will be 0, 0, 108 by, 108 height by, I don't know, because it's really hard to tell uh, how many tiles we have there. But if I was to take a gander, I think we did like 7 here, and then another 14, because that looks at let's say, oh, Ruben, you are silly. You're using the full length of that. That's how you'll find out. You just can't find good text nowadays. So 3072. That's what the width is. Duh, Ruben, 3072. Cool. That's our top LED strip. Control C, Control not V, Control C, Control Shift V. So Control C, Control Shift V, paste vertically. Now what we need to fix is that this is not quite as large. So how do we fix that? I'm glad you asked. We'll come over here and say, well, we're not using that many. We're only using about how many? Uh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like it's like we're missing like a tile there, roughly. This is also not necessarily taking for full, so we'll just take a tile off of both sides. So minus 108 minus 108. And then repeat that same over here. Minus 108 minus 108. Cool. See how actually, that's how we know that it's lining up. Kind of. Oh, except for this needs to be offsetted. Sorry. 108. Ta-da! Is it breaking apart? Of course it is. But Ruben, why is it breaking apart? Well, we are taking less. If I was half as smart as the guys from Elite Multimedia are, I would always keep all my rasters all the way to the left. Because by doing that, I'm saving pixels on the far side out of my processor. It also, I don't have to do extra unnecessary processing and save space on my rasters for whenever I may need them. So by doing this, I'm just like collapsing all those all the way to the left. And this is just how I would do it, not necessarily saying that this is, again, the purpose of this show is a breakdown of how I would do something. Unless it's a show that I have personally worked and I have, like Patrick, inside information on a show, um, yeah, this is kind of like the way that we're going to do this. Plus 108 on the starting point of this one. And we'll take minus 216, which is 2 of those put together. And then we'll come over here and say size minus 216. Lovely. Great. Now, we have 14 minutes to finish the this Barcy bars of down here. And that part is going to be fun. Why? Because that's the hard part. Control C, Control Shift V, only so that we have the starting point correct. And we have determined that the width of these columns is going to be 108. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom of our raster, which is, if we're starting at 324, we can do 1080 minus 324. using logic here to try to coordinate these guys. Sweet. And so that's a 108 by 756. So size 108 by 756. Lovely. And now we will grab this guy and go Control C, Control V now because we're doing this way. And hold on a second. When they're spread apart, we're keeping one full tile of space in between them. So what I'll do here to my position is add that extra row. And now, if I just copy that guy with a new spacing, Control V. No. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. If I select these two guys, Control C, Control V. Haha, there we go. By selecting those guys with the added spacing, it's keeping the offset of the first one. So that should allow me to. Did I make enough? 1, 2. Let's count it. 1, 2. Actually, use the tab key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ha! Oh, happy day. The one thing that I want to do though is shift. So Control Shift. I just want to move them all together so they're in that center position. Beautiful. Okay. So that is position 1. Love it. We are going to save this as output configuration. Look, Brian 1. No, that's Luke Brian 2. Sorry. Boink. And then now for the hard part, the harp part. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I need to move this. This will be the tricky part. Will it be the tricky part? Not really, because I know that this is my center part. How to center this in an easy and convenient way? You know what? The easy and convenient way of doing all of that will be to just do a single harp, the harp part. Stand by for harp solo. Yeah. What would be the easiest way to do this? Here's the thing. There are a number of things, a number of ways that we can do this. And I'm just trying to see the way that we can get this done in the next 5 minutes so that I can have time for banter. Okay, the easiest way, the lazy man way, would be to just do, this is 12 columns. Actually, no. This is 12 columns, who is related to fill columns. No. Size 108 times 12. Hello. You. 108 times 12. Sorry. Fat finger that one. 108 times 12. Cool. And then we will center this into submission. If you want to do the formula for exactly centering this, the position will basically be the size of our raster, which is 1080 times 3, right? And then we get the size of a raster minus, and we open a bracket there and say 1296, which is the width of our screen, divided by 2, and then close that bracket. And hold on a minute. No, I messed that up. So 1080 times 3 is the width of our entire thing. And we're going to say minus, open a bracket, for 1296. Close the bracket, and that gets me to I think that's the ending point actually of my thing. Oh my goodness, I've officially lost my mind. Uh, what am I trying to do here? Oh, and I needed to subtract the starting point for it. Ugh, sorry. Um, you know what? Control Shift. That looks good enough. So let's go with that. And we can save this configuration as LB1. And what that allows us to do now is go over to our performance page and say, okay, main screen, you're going to be playing this content. And we can see our output happening down there. And then whenever we are on mode 2, I want to be on this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't load those right. So I gotta go to the output page. I totally forgot to load them into this guy. So load LB1 and load LB2. Close that. Now, from the performance page, I can say when you're in 1, 2, 1. Actually, I can automate that by if I go to, wow, this is gonna be fun. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. This is Luke Bryant. If I open this, I'm going to drag this controller that is switching between one and the other, and I'm gonna send this to through my patch IO. I told you guys, I like to get down and dirty. Uh, let's say this is the stage patch. No, 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 no. This is, yeah, that's a stage patch. This is what's going to and from the stage patch. So I believe if I come to stage patch and I go show port, it's probably this output port that I just added. Shift. Yep, that's the value that I'm sending in. And now I'm looking for region out. God, I forget where that guy is, but it's hiding in here. Standby. Layer controller, scene trigger, auto blend. I'm looking for that. Ooh, Ruben, come on. Region file selector? Yeah, region file selector. That's what I'm looking for. So I will feed this thing to my region file selector. Let's move it down here so that I can make this just a little bit bigger and reset it so it looks pretty. I think you know that I like it pretty by now. And then from there, but wait, there's more. We're going to send that, again, we'll do the same process here. And we're going to show port output. Yep. Again, reset it to make it pretty. And then from here, we're going to send this guy into this here corner. We go into the region file selector, and now this. So we have 0 here and 1 here, and then the selector comes from this formulae that gets its values from here, which gets its values from here, and which gets its values from push selection and push selection. Awesome. So whatever the output of this is, in 1, we're going to go to the patch IO of this patch. Do you guys really think that I was going to try to get down and dirty? Show port output. Reset. Again, gotta keep it pretty. And so as we said, so this is the output of 1, toink toink, and the output of toink toink goes to the output of this guy. Sorry, I was going into, right, so these two, that's 1, and that's auto select. So what I am considering now is that, yep, so I believe in 2. I believe what I'm trying to do is in to here. No, 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 no. What is it that I'm trying to do? I'll explain my process. So basically, I'm trying to push these two strings. I think I can do that by simply doing this. Two, one. Haha! There it is. Sorry. I got stuck in my own thought. Doink, I can close all these. And now you'll see how, actually, let's add a monitor. Show, insert patch, controller monitor, and we'll go out of my input output to here and out of this to the string selector. Right. And so you will see that anytime that that value is hit, 0, 1, 0, 1, right? So now my model and my output are kind of like in sync. So I don't have to manually clicky those two. That's just a way. Now, it's not the perfect scenario because my perfect scenario means that I would track the position of those, but I spend way too much time at the beginning of the session talking to myself by talking to you and polling and deciding which show I was going to do, so I couldn't automate that part today. But if you log in tomorrow, I'm going to recreate this with the resources that are already made in Spanish for 12 Eastern. I'm just gonna recreate the same show tomorrow, and I will try to automate the screens to do that because then I already have all these assets created. So reassembling this whole show should take a considerably lower amount of time. And I know that the show is gonna be in Spanish, so for my English speakers slash followers, I mean just put Mexican music in the background instead of like put some Tejano music. There's really not that big of a difference between country and that. I mean, it's country just from another country. All right. So with that, I'm gonna take. You know what? I'll take 5 minutes of questions, if there's any questions left. While I wait for questions, I'm going to activate Performax mode just so that I can see all of that. And I'm also going to, just to show off, uh, I'm holding up. I'm holding up. I'm giving you guys time to formulate your questions, and so while I do that, I am going to reactivate this guy. So I'm gonna do Shift F8 to record my center screen, and then I'm gonna go over to like, let's say, I think like this angle, more zoom. Hmm. There's a little, not 100% happy with that. I want, come on, come on. That sounds like Billy Crystal in. Um, oh, for crying out loud. Um, Howl's Moving Castle. He voices, sorry, the the dub for Calcifer, the fire demon. Oh, come on! Uh, come on. You know you can't be doing that to yourself. Sure, we'll make this our third. So Shift F9 camera view, and then we'll just do one like really far apart. Like we'll just do like, oh, you know what? We'll do a drone shot. How's that? Yeah. Except for I need some like thicker perspectives on this. Let's just say, yeah, let's just say this is our drone shot. Shift F7. So F7, F8, and F9 are three aspects, and then hit F11, and then we'll see. We'll see our drone take beautiful footage of our show. um, I don't think I have any questions. I missed the first half of the stream. LOL. Well, you can watch it again tomorrow in Spanish. I did do the modeling with Blender. And because again, like I said yesterday, last week, and I think I said it in most streams, it's there is a 3D modeler, and I could have done a lot of the work inside of AI, but I strongly believe that there are great 3D modeling tools that are specifically made for that, and AI is a great, sí, mañana en español, great uh, media server, but it's not a modeling tool. There are modeling tools for making adjustments. There's also another limitation that to do the trick that I'm doing with the screens, you have to use 3ds models. And when you save 3D models inside of the modeling tool or the UV map, the canvas editor, it saves them as OBJs, not 3DSs. So, yeah, there's also that. And I have put a feature request on that. I think that's a massive loss that should be addressed. And as a matter of fact, since I'm done here, I'm going to call Kieran and ask him, where's my 12.1, which should be coming out this week, I was told. Would I recommend people use or learn Blender? I think you should. I think media server operators, or and especially like right now, we don't know when we're going back. Honestly, I really media server operators are screwed one way in every way possible, because if you want to like, you are the guy that needs to know enough about video signals to just get in trouble. You need to understand networking fairly well, not perfectly, but well. You need to know at least about IP addresses and subnet masks. At the very least, understand network topologies. So, networking, enough about video signals, EDID management being huge for me. Uh, so, enough about video signals, enough about networking. You need to understand how modeling works, and most specifically, how UV mapping works. So then that's four different skills on top of understanding the software of choice that you're using. So, do I think you should learn Blender? It's a free tool. It does everything that most media server shows will require. And then, if you really get in the nitty gritty, deep and dark of it, you can start making content in Blender, all for free, both in 2D and 3D. I don't know how to do that. I'm using Notch for my content creation and After Effects. But would you? Well, networking is just like knowing about power. Hey, am I 120? Again, I don't need. You don't need to be a master electrician uh, that wires a 2000 moving light rig. But I honestly believe that you should know enough about networking. Just basic network topology, IP addressing, subnet masking, IP segmentation, network segmentation. That's just stuff that you should know. But you definitely understand the basics of model making and UV mapping outside of what AI can do internally. I strongly believe that users should know how to at least grasp the basics of it. Most of what I did this at the beginning of this session, I learned last week, just through here, just fat fingering the keyboards and understanding what was happening there. Modeling Blender, mañana en español, sí señor, at 12, a las 12, no a la una. Las lecciones en español son a las 12, las en inglés son a la una. Uh, Poink, poink, poink. All right. With that, I will bid the adieu, and I will see you guys mañana if you log in. Thank you so much for coming in. Hold on, I have a special camera for that, I think. Do I have a special camera for that? Not that one. Let's call that goodbye. Thank you, everyone. I'm still learning this part, but thank you so much for logging in, everyone. Have a great and happy day. Cheers.